Hey pros, Crystal here from Elite Hair Care USA. So today we are doing a color change on my client who is salt, pepper, and natural. And she also has a tapered cut with a small amount of thinning going on. So let's get straight into it. So we decided to do a demi-permanent color. She did not want to do a higher volume developer. But of course, with any demi-permanent, you're going to start with shampooing first. So we were kind of just chatting as I was warming the water, getting it ready for her hair. And as you guys can tell, she is salt and pepper. She has a lot more salt in the front than she does around the perimeters or in the middle of her hair. She is also natural and she is rocking her tapered cut because she is working out. And of course, she has really just started taking care of her hair the right way. So I always start off as normal with saturation, saturation, and saturation. By this point, saturation should be a part of you guys' vocabulary because I use that word oh so much. So for our first shampoo, we're going to skip over the clarifying shampoo and we're going to go straight into the B7 Beyond because I can tell she had previously washed her hair. So I did not need to clarify her, but I am still going to give her some good foundation treatment using our B7 Beyond Biotin Volumizing Shampoo. And remember, you guys, she is natural and she is fine in texture. So I used our scalp agitator to get that blood flowing, get that blood moving in the head and the scalp or the hair in the scalp. And this is also going to get those nooks and crannies of itches that she might have. Most clients like when I use my nails because I just give them that aggressive scrub that just really gets the blood boiling. But our scalp agitator / stimulator works just the same. And I actually like the way it feels on my clients' hair because it helps to detangle them all at the same time. And it also helps with the blood flow, which of course, blood flow is what powers the hair. So that is definitely an important step that I would not skip over. Don't be afraid to give yourself some good soothing scratching. And don't be afraid to stimulate that scalp because that is a huge part of the importance of just hair care, period. It's all about the basics, you guys, the basics. Okay, so we're rinsing her out thoroughly. A lot of you always have a question at this point. Am I using warm water or cold water? For any shampoo purpose, I'm typically using warm water. There are some exclusions to that, which we do talk about that in other videos. By the way, when I mention other videos, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And please don't forget to also thumbs up this video and share it with your family and friends. That's super important. So for our second shampoo, I'm going to be using the Amina Strengthening Shampoo, which is a part of our Empress collection. The Empress collection is actually a limited edition collection, so that collection is actually being put on the shelf to make room for some new products. So she is on sale currently for $10, where with the shampoo, the mask, the leave-in conditioner, and the hair serum. So you guys go check that out on our website at elitehaircareusa.com. Now, once we finish the shampoo process, we are not going to condition her just yet. So when you are doing a demi-permanent color, I'm showing you guys the sequence that you would do this. So demi-permanent colors, you definitely want to go ahead and do your shampoo first. Once you do your shampoo service, meaning the full shampoo, whether it be your clarifying and then your treatment shampoo, or if you just went straight into your treatment shampoos like the B7 or the hair repair or the moisture repair, whichever collection you decided to use for your wash day, if you know that you're going to be doing a demi-permanent or even a semi-permanent color, do not condition the hair first unless you are doing a protein treatment using our Elite Repair RX. That is the only exclusion to this rule. Protein will go on before color. But in her case, we are not doing a protein treatment. We are going to actually do the actual color at this point. So we're going to go ahead and towel dry her. And I already have my color prepared. And we're going to start out with the color going to the resistant areas first, which her resistant area is always the salt. It doesn't matter who you are and where you're from. Salt hair or gray hair is typically the most resistant hair on your head. It has its own texture. It has its own name. It has its own everything. So I always start with the most resistant parts of the head first when I apply my color because I want those areas to begin processing first. Now I'm also using a bowl and a brush. Demi-permanent colors, I do not like to apply them with a applicator bottle only because when I'm dealing with salt and pepper hair, I need to make sure that I am doing small partings and I'm getting into all the nooks and crannies. It is so easy for you to have a situation where if you are coloring gray hair or salt and pepper hair and you don't do small partings, you will easily have a hidden patch. And when you part your hair, you will notice that there is a patch of gray hair that you thought you covered and you didn't. So this is another reason why I like to use the bowl and brush. I also like to take my time and make sure that I am doing small partings and I am really saturating that hair. Saturation is super important when you're dealing with salt and pepper hair because if the hair is not actually touching the color, that hair will not change color. So think of gray hair, the wiriness of gray hair, like the body of a spider. Spiders are one of the hardest insects to kill. I say this all the time. Why are they so hard to kill? Because their actual body is above the ground while their legs are touching the ground. So usually when you try to exterminate a spider, you have to use something that is going to stick their body to the ground rather than just their legs crawling. So that is why I always like to use that analogy with gray hair, because remember, if gray hair is like the legs of a spider, if the body of that gray hair is not touching the color, it is not absorbing the color. So think of it that way when you are doing your color service for your salt and pepper hair. If that hair is not touching the color and staying in the color to process and develop the color molecules, it is not going to color. That is another reason why I'm always adamant on making sure that you oversaturate when you are doing your color service, especially for salt and pepper hair. And I can't stress that enough, but I wanted to make sure that I really honed in on that fact because a lot of you don't understand the color process and what happens during the color process and why your gray color always comes out either too light or not colored at all. Now, some colors do not work for gray coverage, which is another thing that we can talk about. So demi-permanent colors are great for gray hair. Why? Because some gray hair is so stubborn, it needs a little bit of oxidation. It needs something to help open the cuticle and deposit the color. Semi-permanent colors do not oxidize whatsoever. They are a deposit-only color, meaning they only sit on the external layer of the hair. So they sit on the outside. Demi-permanent and permanent colors, they all actually oxidize and open the cuticle at some rate and deposit those color molecules. So when we're doing salt and pepper hair, because we know that it's super resistant, not all semi-permanent colors are going to work when you're coloring salt and pepper. Some of you might have noticed that you might be using other brands and you notice that it didn't even change the surface. It literally just left the baby tint on there because that color probably was not designed for gray coverage, which is the word you look for when you are doing any type of color or choosing the color that you're going to be working with for your salt and pepper hair. Now, because I'm doing a demi-permanent today, I'm not going to really talk about color line. But if you're doing a semi-permanent color at home, I highly recommend for my salt and peppers that you look at the Clairol Gray Solution. If you click the link in the description box of this video, you can get to my Amazon store where I do have that color that I use in a salon for gray coverage that is easy to use at home, and it is a semi-permanent. But in her case, we're doing a demi-permanent where this color required a developer or an activator to make it work. And you guys know I don't recommend you do this at home. Now, after I applied the color to the entirety of her head, my goal now is I go back and I now plaster about 2 to 3 more layers. And when I use the word plaster, I really mean that. I use 2 to 3 more layers of color to hold down that front area that I know is super resistant because it's salt and pepper. And even though she's fine in texture, her gray hair still has its own texture. So the key to this is just to make sure that you put enough color on those areas that it will hold the hair down in there or in the color so that it can actually absorb that color molecule and actually change color. Now, I am doing a lighter color on her hair, and it's not super light, but remember, her hair was dark to start with. So only parts of the head that's going to pick up most of the color that I'm putting on is that gray hair. Hence the reason why I like to say make sure you saturate really, really well. And then she has to process for the correct amount of time. So some of you like to process for 5 minutes and they say, yeah, I'm done. That's not how this works, you guys. So this particular manufacturer, she has to process for a minimum of 35 minutes, or excuse me, with demi-permanent, it's a minimum of 25 minutes up to 45 minutes. So what I did, which is a pro tip, because I know that she has that gray in the front, you guys can do this at home as well, is I take a little bit of cling wrap and I press it down on the areas where I know she's super resistant. This is going to keep the hair down in the color and still allow her to process. And then of course I leave the top open because this is supposed to be an open air processing. Now she's done. She's done. So I'm applying some of our Boost antioxidant leave-in scalp oil to her hair. Well, not even to her hair, to the scalp. This is to help with growth. This is to help add those antioxidants to her hair and to her scalp. This is all basically for just optimal health going forward. This is actually one of our newest products where you guys are so used to our serums. We designed a larger version scalp oil that is full of antioxidants and also has anti-inflammatory properties. And this is going to help with that growth. This is going to help with that strength, and it's going to help boost the actual growth in the scalp, as well as help to lower some of that inflammation that you might be experiencing. Now, she decided to wear her hair in the natural state to go home. So basically all I did after I put the Boost on was to go around. I sprayed a little bit of water. I picked her hair out with my fingers to try to get her coils to start to foil or to fold out. And then I did use a little bit of curl definition cream, which she was asking me which one I'm using. This particular one that I use is no longer available, so I'm not even going to give you guys the name. But I really do like their curl definition, especially for curls like hers. And basically all I did was apply it to the hair, nice and generous, a generous amount. And then just picked her hair out with my fingers. And then, of course, you guys see her hair is kind of white right now, but because that product has not absorbed just yet. And she has the Boost on her hair at the same time. But what I'm going to do is use the diffuser to help dry the hair slightly, and then that'll help us to kind of shape it. Now, I did also ask her if she was okay with me kind of tapering down her sides a little bit. Some people do, some people don't, but she was okay with it. So all I did was just take a little bit of the weight off that was around her ears and around the perimeter of her head, so that it did still look somewhat like a pixie cut, but we didn't take off a ton of hair, you guys. This was just for blending purposes, so that it looks, of course, a little more neat, a little more clean. And then, of course, for her, she typically wears her hair like this because she's working out anyway. And we've silked her hair out before. She did great with the silk press. But today she didn't want to do the press. So that was fine with me. It was easy for me to do this anyway. And I love her curls. I love her coils. And really her main focus was the color today. So we're just using the clippers. And we're just, like I said, tapering down those sides and that back and taking some of that weight out. And then that's really it, you guys. Like, I diffused her just a little bit. I use my pick just to kind of pick her out a little bit. But this is what she does at home every day. So it's not like this is taking her out of her realm. And the good thing is she came in for her color, and she came in to really just get that color done in the right way so that she didn't have any hiccups at home, which, as I said, you guys, I would say to do that if you're going to do any form of demi or permanent color. All right, you guys, so I'm going to stop talking and let you guys finish watching the style. Please don't forget to visit our website at elitehaircareusa.com. Also, if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button, share these videos and this channel with your friends and family. And please, 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 please don't forget to thumbs up and comment and tell me what you guys thought about the color, because I think the color came out great. It also helped to fill in a lot of that thinning look that she had going on, which is exactly what you want. Anyhow, you guys, I'll let you guys go. Love you guys. Bye.